Hello there, my name's Nathan Wrigley from WP Builds. This is a short tutorial explaining how you can use the If So plugin to put dynamic content onto your website. If you like these kind of videos, please click on the subscribe button, and I'm told that if you click the subscribe button, a little bell appears, and if you click on the bell, you'll be notified about everything we do on this YouTube channel. So there we go. The reason that I'm using this plugin is because I was sent a link by the developer, Josef, and here it is. This is the homepage of the website, and I scrolled down and I thought, this is, I don't quite understand why he sent me this link. And then I saw this. And it says here, we love WP Builds, as you can see here. And this just made me think, oh, that's interesting. He sent me a link, which is the home page, ostensibly, but it's got something about WP Builds on it. And then I thought, has he put that on his website? That seems bizarre. And then I clicked on the logo and was taken to the home page once more. Only this time, when the page loads, I noticed in the exact same place, so here, that has gone. So I was thinking, how's he done that? And then I noticed, look, the URL here is very plain, if-so.com. And then if I click back to the link that I had a moment ago, it's if-so.com / and then there's a little parameter at the end, a little query, and it says if so equals WP builds. And I got to thinking, okay, this is how he's doing it. If this parameter exists, show this row. So I thought, well, I'll explore this plugin and have a little look and see if there's anything that we could teach you guys about it. So here we go. Now, this is a vanilla install of WordPress. I've got a page builder, Beaver Builder installed, and the If So plugin. You can have a 14-day free trial of the If So plugin with all the features, and then there's a paid subscription which you can sign up for as well if you want to unlock all of those features for a year with update and supports and all of that kind of stuff. Now, the plugin has 4 menu items here. We've got the licensing option where you'd put your license key, and at the moment I've just got my free license key, which will run out in a few days. There's a geolocation option here, which I'll come to a little bit later. There's a settings menu where you can, there's 4 settings. This is the amount of time that the page visited condition works. You can remove all data on uninstall, and there's a couple of other things which I won't mention here, but very, very minimal in terms of the settings. So very, very little to set up. You can get started right away. The real things are these 2 options here. You can add a new trigger or look at all of the triggers. Now, this whole plugin is based around the idea of triggers. Triggers are things which happen when a certain sort of condition is met. So, for example, if you come to my website and you have this query string at the end of the URL, do something. So that's the idea here, if so. So if there's a condition, do this. That's what the so part means. So I have in here a very, very simple trigger, and I'll show you how it looks. So I've got the edit button here, so I'll click on that. And this is the UI for the whole plugin. And it boils down to just a few boxes. And they're all in this trigger settings menu item here. Okay, so we have the box at the top, which is labeled Dynamic Content Version A. And then underneath that, we've got something called Default Content. Now, the way it works is, depending on the condition that you set, whatever is in this box here will be displayed. Okay? And then if that condition is not met, then anything in this box will be displayed. Now, you don't have to put anything in this box at the bottom. In other words, if this condition is not met and you leave this blank, nothing will be shown. Okay? So in this case, what's going to happen is I've set up something called a dynamic link, and I've called that dynamic link welcome, okay? And that creates this query string down here, okay? If so equals welcome. So the welcome in here is appended to the end here, okay? If that is in the URL, this is going to be shown. Now this is a shortcode, which I'll show you in a moment. And if that is not shown, then display this instead. Okay, so let's just have a little look. What I've done is I've taken this this sequence, this trigger, if you like, this trigger, and it outputs a shortcode for the whole trigger. So this shortcode here, if so, ID equals 71. If I copy and paste that, it's going to show this, whatever the content of this is, okay? If the condition of welcome is attached to the end of the URL, and if it's not, it's going to show this. So let's just have a little look. See if I can find the right page on my website. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to all pages. Okay, and I've only set one page up. Okay, so I'm going to view that page. All right. And here is my page. Now it's unbelievably simple. It is a Beaver Builder saved row, essentially. That's all it is. But there it is. You can see it's got a man. Looks like he's going surfing, and there's some text here. Hello there, welcome to our site. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to attach this query string. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back to that page, and I'm simply going to add it to the end of the URL. So now the URL has this attached to it. I will click enter, and you can see that the page has been completely modified. Now we've got a picture of a laptop, somebody having a bit of coffee, got some different buttons, we've got some different text altogether. So let me show you that one more time. If I take this query string off the end of the URL, you get this on the page. And if I add that query string to the end of the URL, you get this on the page. So I'm hoping that you can see that essentially, if this condition is met, it's going to show this. And if this condition is not met, it's going to show this. Now, just so that you understand how this has been done, I have a few Beaver Builder templates, saved rows, which I'll show you very quickly. I have a saved row here, which we can view, and that's the one that we saw with the lady with the coffee. And I have another one here, which you can see is the one with the surfboard and so on. So that's how I'm making that work. And the way that you insert saved rows from Beaver Builder is by using these kind of shortcodes. You can actually find out how to do this using this URL on the Beaver Builder website. It's all down here, and it explains how you can go about taking saved rows, which are very easy to create, and put them in as shortcodes. Okay, so remarkable. Now, it doesn't just have to be, let's just try, by the way, let's just try taking out this shortcode so that this section is now blank. So what should happen now when I click update and go back to that page is if that criteria is met, we should get this saved row. So let's go to the site, and we've got that criteria at the end of the URL. Okay, brilliant. There's our saved row. But if we take it off, because this page is so utterly blank, there you go. Literally, there's nothing in between. Okay, so let's just add that to the end. Whoops. Let's go back. And there it is. Okay, so I'm going to actually put that back in. There it is. And click update. Now, you can have more than one thing. So for example, at the moment, it's basically saying if there is welcome in the URL, do this, and if not, do that. Okay, but you can add other options. So for example, I could add another thing down here. So now it says, if this is true, if there's welcome in the URL, do this. Then if not, let's check another condition and see if that's possible. And if that's possible, let's do that. And then if that's not possible, if that doesn't ring true, if that doesn't equate to 1 or, then do this. And so you can keep adding all of these different versions. You can reorder them if you like. So for example, we can make this one go up there instead, and they've swapped around. Okay, or you can delete them. So what I'm going to do at the moment is just delete them and discuss very briefly what the options are for making this possible, because really, the idea of using a URL was very, very easy for me to achieve and demonstrate to you how this works, but it's possibly not what you might be trying to do, because this has got so many different permutations, for how you could use it on a website. So for example, here are the array of conditions that you can use if you've got the Pro version. So for example, you could say, okay, I only want to show something to people on a mobile device. Okay, so you could put in here a row which was only visible on a mobile device. So for example, I'm thinking that might be really useful to put a telephone button in. You get the idea that you could put a button in there and that button would ring the dialer on your mobile phone. Okay, and then underneath you could add a different one which had the condition of a device being a desktop and a tablet, and that would have the capability of, I don't know, instead of showing a button, it might have an email address or something like that. Okay, do you get the idea? So you can do things by device. Also, you can use user behavior. Oh, I should say that the device options are mobile, tablet, and desktop. Okay. You can use user behavior. So there's a few little options here. You can either show something or not show something, I suppose, to people who are logged in. At the moment, it doesn't seem to have user roles capability, but maybe that's something they'll do in the future. You can show something to people who are a brand new visitor. And this is all done with cookies. And so obviously if they clean out their browser history and remove all their cookies, then everybody will again become a new visitor. You could show it to a returning visitor, and I quite like this. You could show it to somebody who's visiting for the second time or the third time. So I can imagine this being quite useful on a sales page. So for example, instead of a shortcode like this, you could literally, you could write nice to see you again. Glad that you've come back. Whoops, if I could spell. But you get the idea, the idea here being that somebody's coming for a few times. Let's show them something different. Second visit, third visit, or custom allows you to, well, you could go up to the 10th visit or the 100th visit or whatever you like. So I think that's quite interesting. This is the user behavior. Or you can show the browser language. Now, whether you know it or not, your browser has a language built into it. It's the setting that you've set up at some point. And so this would have a capability of displaying multilingual stuff, which is remarkable. So, for example, if the browser was defaulting to Hebrew, I could add a section in here all in Hebrew, and then I could add another section underneath, and I could choose the user behavior, and I could choose the browser language, and I could say, okay, I want to show this stuff if in Arabic. I don't quite know why the editor kind of has disappeared there, but it has. Anyway, there we go. But that's a possibility. You could set a different browser language, and you could have loads of multilingual stuff. So all of your text could be done in different languages. All right. So that was all user behavior. So we've done the device type, done user behavior, the referrer source. Okay, you can either do the URL is such and such. So for example, if somebody's visiting your website from Google, you might like to show one particular message. But if your visitor is coming from a landing page, maybe you've got a joint venture partner or something, and you want to show a certain thing. Hey, thanks for coming over from such and such.com. We appreciate you coming. You could have that, and obviously show nothing to people who don't come from that website. So you could have the URL is, so you could pick a particular URL. So for example, it could be https example.com, and then if anybody comes over to your site from example.com, whatever is in here will be displayed. And you could have the URL is not, so anything apart from Google. So we could put in here google.com or what have you, and we could say we don't, anything that's not from Google, show this message, or contains. So if you could put, for example, in here, I quite like this idea, .co.uk. So for example, in here, you could show something to people who've been bounced to your site from a .co.uk website. That might matter. You might want to show certain conditions in that particular situation. So there's the possibilities for referrers. Okay. You can also, URL referrer source. There's also the option to, if it's come from a particular page on your website. So let's say you've got a landing page and that landing page has a clear call to action. Then you could show a buy now button because they've come from that page. They're going through your funnel in the correct order. But if they're not, you might not show that button. Entirely up to you. Or you could use this common set of referrers here, and they've only got two at the moment, Google or Facebook. Okay, and then down here is the recurrence, and this is, well, there's a little hover thing here. After the condition is met for the first time, the version will be displayed each time the visitor encounters the trigger. Recurrence only works when the visitor revisits the page from the same device and browser without deleting cookies. So in other words, you could say, show this message just once, a single time. Okay, or show this message every time, or show this message for 1, 2, 3, 4 days, weeks, months, or minutes. So for example, you might have in here, a button, and you want it to show for the next 2 hours because that's how long your deal is running. And then after that period of time, away it goes. Okay, so that's the referrer source. Oops, I think I might have another option in here. No, I've done all of those. So we've done the referrer source. Page URL is, now this is nice and straightforward. This is just the page URL is, so obviously in my case it was, for example, it could be wpbuilds.com/deals. I might want to show something on that page, or I might want to show any page with a certain string in it. So any page which has got the word Google in its URL, I could show a Google feature, or anything which has got the word Android in the URL, I could show an Android button or something like that. The URL is not, so this would refer to any page on your website which is not the specific URL you're looking at. And the URL does not contain, so only show this if the URL hasn't got the word Android in it. It's all getting quite complicated now, isn't it? Okay, you can show certain things based upon whether things have come from Facebook ads or Google ads. And I'm no expert on this, but I'll quickly show what it shows. Paste the following string into the tracking template field in Google AdWords, and it's provided you with a string here. And I'm not entirely sure about all of that because I don't really use Google AdWords. And then the same is true over here for Facebook ads. So if you're using Facebook ads, you can show content based upon how those people got to your site via Google ads or Facebook ads platforms. Okay, so that's advertising platforms. This is the one that I used earlier, the dynamic link. So I'm not going to mention that too much, but basically, if I put Nathan in there and the URL has this parameter at the end of it, whatever is in here will be displayed. A/B testing, this is quite nice. You could show this 50% of the sessions, and then you could add another one underneath, and you could do an A/B testing and show it for the remaining 50% of the sessions. The options are 25%, 33%, 75%, or 100% of the sessions. Okay, that's quite nice. So you've got the idea of A/B testing where you set up two different things, maybe a button in a certain color and the same button in a different color, and you try to see which one converts better, and it will show this red button 50% of the time and the blue button 50% of the time. And then in here you can say do that for a certain amount of time, and then I don't know how it's going to provide data and feedback to you on that, but there we go. And you can limit the number of sessions as well. So for example, you could say only show that 1,000 times, only show that 500 times, and I'm not sure how you get that data out. No, I'm not sure how that data is fed back to you, but anyway, there you go. You can do A/B testing. Time and date, very sensible. So you could have a start and an end date. So for example, only show this content beginning the 9th of January and ending the 24th of January. That's my sale period. So I only want to show the sale button, the get 50% off with coupon code WP Builds throughout those dates and times. Or you can set a schedule. I think this is quite cool. So for example, you could say, I want to show a button between 9. Now, I struggled before to click this. That's it. You click it and let go. I only want to show something on a Monday between 9 and 5. And again, on a Tuesday. I'm taking the day off on Wednesday, but I'm in again on Friday. And I'm thinking here, you could show your telephone button. Again, we are open. Open now. Click on this button to get in touch with us. It could be a form, couldn't it? It could be a gravity form field where people, or an instant messenger or something like that, and it's only going to be available during those certain times. I think that's really cool. I like that feature a lot. Geolocation, I'll come back to that in a minute. I'll come back to that one as the last one. And pages visited. Start typing to select a page, and it's very similar to the last one. In fact, I don't really know what the difference is, except it looks like in here you can start to type in, but I've got one page on this website only, so that's not going to be much good. Pages visited. So presumably it's storing a cookie, and it's keeping a track. If you've been to this page and you've been to this page, show this, So if you've been to my sales page and we've stored a cookie about that, show them this, and it might be a get 10% off because you seem to be wavering kind of thing. And the last one is geolocation. Now, geolocation, you can show this stuff, what's in here again, based upon the country, the city, the continent, the state, or the time zone. So in my case, I'm going to type in United Kingdom, and then I could add another one. Let's say I want to add in United States, and I'll add in, I'll add in Australia. So whatever is in here will only be shown to people from those particular countries. And depending on how it's all set up, you might even go in at the city level. So let's type in Sydney. Okay. And maybe if I was really specific about this, I'd want to get rid of all those, and I only want to show people from Sydney. I could go for a continent, so I could type in North America, say. Okay, have that as my option. Or a state. And I'm not sure how this works in that I just wonder if it's just, oh, look, it's states from all over the place. So let's type in, yeah, wow, that's interesting. Okay, I'm putting in where I live. Wow, that's amazing. I live in North Yorkshire and it knows that. And then I tried Northern Territory. So that's fascinating. So there we go. It's got me in North Yorkshire in the United Kingdom, and it's also got the Northern Territory in Australia. Hopefully you would know. Let's type Washington. Yeah, Washington, and let's type Vermont. Say, okay, yeah, okay. It seems to know those kind of things. Brilliant. That's fascinating. And then time zone. You could pick only show to people in a certain time zone. That's fascinating. Oh, capabilities are amazing. So there we go. The only caveat about all of this, the only one little thing to mention is over here, and that is the geolocation feature. It costs a little bit extra on top of your license. So if you click on the upgrade button there, you'll be able to see what that all means, because they pay for a database so that this is really up to the minute and really accurate and is being kept up to date by a reputable company. And if you pay $5 per month, you get 10,000 geolocation sessions per month, and I presume that means 10,000 page displays, I guess. $10 a month. Excuse me, and these are not dollars, these are euros. Look, it clearly says it. It's 35,000, and 25 euros a month is 100,000. And really, I think you're just paying there for people to update the database. But you can go for free, 3,000 during the trial period, which is what I'm in. But if you want to use geolocation, then you'll have to do that. I don't know if it will integrate it in the future with other free services, but they've obviously decided for now that that's not what they're going to do. Now then, let's have a little quick look at the website over here, if so, and we'll go to the pricing page. You'll notice that there are a few options for you depending on whether you've got sort of like one site and what have you. So a single domain is, now we're back in dollars now, I presume this is American dollars. A single domain is $139 for a year of support and updates. 3 domains is $199 and 10 domains is $497. But if you go over to the WP Build deal page, wpbuild.com/deals, and if you click on this button here, I'd appreciate it if you do click it. It is an affiliate link. I'm being very honest about it. It is an affiliate link. If you click on that, you'll be taken to the deals page. You'll be taken to the website. If so, and then if you use the coupon code WP Builds, all lowercase, no spaces, then you will get the option to get, I think it was 20, let's just have a little look, wpbuilds.com/deals. Yeah, there we go. It's 20% off with that code. So that will knock quite a bit off. So there you go. That's it. That is my very, very quick video of if so. The idea being that you can show content depending upon all of those different triggers that we just looked at. Quick go through again. You can use a device. You can use user behavior. You can use referrer source, page URL, the advertising platform that they came from, the dynamic link, which is what I demonstrated, the A/B testing model. There's time and date, so you can set things up for times and dates. The geolocation, which we've seen you have to pay additionally for, and pages visited on your website so far. I think it's really cool. In my case, definitely worked. As I said, I've got this page here with just 2 completely different things. It's a very uninteresting example that I've set up. Let's take it away one more time to show that it works. Yes, it does. It's a very uninteresting example in that all it does is stick a massive header in the page, but it could be far more subtle. You know, you could just change one tiny little bit of text. So, you know, you might just change the title, or you might change a button, or in my case, like I've shown here, you might change a whole row. Brilliant stuff. Really like it. Hope you like this video. Please add some comments down below. I will gladly write my replies to them. I'm just starting out doing these videos, so keen to interact with as many people as possible. And yeah, thanks for watching this, and let me know what you think. All right, bye bye.